So we need to talk about Leonardo DiCaprio because at this point, he's getting a little bit too predictable. The internet was freaking out because Leo just recently broke up with his 25-year-old girlfriend, Camilla. If you guys didn't know by now, Leo definitely has a type, and he doesn't seem to date any women who are older than 25. And once his current girlfriend reaches that age, he ends up breaking up with them. And what's bizarre about this behavior is the fact that a woman's brain doesn't finish developing until they're 25. So he seems to date women until their brain is fully developed, and then he breaks up with them. So I don't know the correlation there, but it seems like he likes his women young. Before we get into what went wrong in his relationship with Camilla, let's briefly go through some of his dating history, because back in 1999, he dated a model when she was 18 years old, and they broke up when she was 23. In 2011, at the age of 35, Leo dated Blake Lively for a year when she was 23 years old. Then between the years 2013 through 2017, he dated a model named Tony, an actress named Kelly, and a model named Nina. They were all in their 20s, but Leo ended up breaking up with Nina when she turned 25, and that's the theme I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So Camilla recently turned 25 on June 16th, and now she's Leo's latest victim. And what's freaky about Leo's relationship with Camilla is that he actually met her when she was a young girl, because he's been friends with a man named Al Pacino. This guy actually dated Camilla's mother, and at some point he introduced Leo to Camilla. Al Pacino is also a creep himself. He's currently 82 years old, and he's recently been linked to a 28-year-old. So wait, he's 82, 28, just literally switch numbers. Like, it's freaky. But when it came to Leo and Camilla, everyone thought that this was different and they were gonna last forever, which I'm just kidding. Nobody actually thought that. But back in July 2019, the couple got pretty serious with each other. Quote, "It's definitely not a casual relationship. Camilla spends a lot of time at his house. Camilla is long known as Leo's girlfriend, and Leo introduced her to both of his parents long ago." Then comes June 2020, and a source told Page Six that Leo loves being with Camilla, and they spend 24/7 together, which, I mean, keep in mind, it was during the COVID lockdown, so that would make sense, but they seem to be happy. And it doesn't seem like Leo's age has ever been a problem for Camilla's. I mean, she just wants to date someone who she's in love with, but it does seem like Camilla's age is a problem for Leo. Now let's get into the reasons why this happy couple broke up, because I feel like the reasons speak to Leo's character. So according to a source, he recently broke up with Camilla because he doesn't want to be tied down. This is so incredibly cringe. Quote, "By the time girls reach 25, they're looking for more. They're looking to get married and settle down. That is not what Leo wants. He does not want a family and doesn't want to be around women who may press him for that." Another quote, "The minute a girl meets him, the clock is ticking. If she gets too old, in a couple of years, she is gone. If she gets too close, in a couple of years, she is gone." I think it's hard for a lot of us to understand Leo's mentality here, because we all want to be loved and to have a partner in life. So to think that he is just dating these women for the time being and throwing them away once they turn 25, it's hard to comprehend. I think it's weird that the source told Page Six that if they get too close, that they're gone. I mean, wouldn't you want to be super close with someone? The same source says that Leo has gotten older, but his taste hasn't gotten any older. Or to quote Matthew McConaughey's character in the movie Dazed and Confused, "I get older, they stay the same age," which if you guys look again at that graph, it does appear to be true. But there are some people out there who are defending Leo's behavior, which I understand because he's not doing anything illegal. Quote, "Good for him. I'm on his side. He connects with women who are young and beautiful. He wants people who stimulate him mentally and physically. Why does he need to be with some woman who's been through the ringer, who's desperate to get what she wants out of him and wants to tie him down. So it sounds like he's a playboy and he likes to bounce around and party and just live the good life. But I don't believe that Leo is a good guy. And here's a quick story about someone who met Leo. Quote, a while ago, a Victoria's Secret model I know told me about meeting him at one of the clubs in Manhattan, getting together with him and hooking up. She told me she thought he was an old man. Now he is 47 and is getting a little creepy, with him wearing the newsboy cap pulled down over his eyes, still wanting girls in their early 20s who are not just pretty but otherworldly. I spoke with one who was not into him and she called him the Michelin Man. We all know that Leo is getting older, yet he likes women who are in their early 20s. But he has to understand at some point these women in their early 20s, they can't just be bought off. If he's growing into this creepy old man who preys on women in their 20s, that's what he's going to become. At some point, it's not sexy anymore to see him consistently go for women who their brains aren't even fully developed yet. But what is going on with the age 25? Someone was quoted saying, I need to know how Leo conducts these breakups. Does he start picking fights months before they turn 25 to be less suspicious? Do they wake up on their birthday to a note that says, sorry, I can't, don't hate me? That's an interesting point though, because it does seem like he plans these breakups if they're all consistently when his partner turns 25. And there are so many people who are trolling him right now on Twitter. Someone was quoted saying maybe Leo hated 9/11 so much that he can't date women who would ever remember it, which I don't remember 9/11, but I guess I'm also in my 20s. Quote, maybe Leo feels bad for all the women who can't rent a car until they're 25. And he's actually a really good guy, so he's just dating these women so that he can help them out, which again, a stupid take. I love this one quote. There's no phenomenon on this planet more reliable than Leo breaking up with his girl by the age of 25. The stats are breathtaking, which is so true. And a lot of these girlfriends that he has, they don't even know about his work, or at least they weren't around when it happened. I mean, whenever he came out with Titanic, Camilla was an infant. Someone was quoted saying, have you ever considered that Leo is so proud of his work in Titanic, he only dates women who weren't old enough to have seen it, so when he shows it to them, they can have this special moment watching it together, which that would be really egotistical if he actually did do that. As I was looking at some forums, I did find this one comment and they were like, all joking aside, it must be tough for Camilla because she's gotten used to these endless vacations, these 5-star restaurants and hotels, sailing all around. It's going to be a big adjustment breaking up with Leo. But I mean, other people believe that she will be able to find someone just like him very shortly. Even though a lot of people are joking about this situation online, I do think there's a very important message here because there are so many powerful, rich, old people in Hollywood who are taking advantage of young, vulnerable people. And even though Leo is legally dating these women, it does seem like there's a power dynamic here. And the fact that they don't ever reach the age of 25 or they don't ever pass the age of 25 is concerning. Like that quote said, he's into young women. And it makes me think about a man who he worked very closely with named Brian Peck. We were actually at Nickelodeon protesting recently, and this man worked at Nickelodeon. He ended up going to prison for some time for drugging and harming a child star. We break this down in another video. But Brian Peck worked with Leo, and part of me feels like Brian took advantage of Leo, and maybe Leo is into younger people because he was taken advantage of when he was a young boy, and now he does it to other people. It's this cycle of abuse. Every time I talk about Leo, I will pull up this clip because it's Brian and Leo talking together, and Brian is clearly hitting on a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leo's says he was raised in Compton. He likes to make us think that he's straight out of Compton. Mm-hmm. Mr. Pale as a dead fish belly and blonde hair is straight out of Compton. Leo, as you know, is the latest, hottest, hunkiest teen idol there is.
Yeah, muscles.
Look, speaking of hunky, huh?
So Brian was getting a little bit handsy there. I mean, I feel like I want to whip out my mace and spray him away because he was touching all over Leo and calling him a hunk and things like that. So maybe Leonardo was taken advantage of when he was a kid, and now this is all he knows. So now he's attracted to young women, and he continues to go through this cycle where he dates them until he feels like they're too old. But also, I do feel a little bit sad for him, because why doesn't he want a relationship where he has a deep connection with someone, or where they get too close, or where they spend the rest of their lives together? I mean, isn't that what we all want at the end of the day? But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Here's my email if you guys have any other video ideas for me, and I'll see you guys in a new one soon. Bye, guys.